How Hyundai became the third largest automaker in the world. In terms of volume, Hyundai Motor Group ranks third among all automakers worldwide. This is a significant accomplishment for a business that was viewed as a cheap replica just a few years ago. The three car brands owned by Hyundai are currently earning award after award and closing the gap on well-known rivals. If people remember the Hyundai that debuted in the American auto industry years ago, they would be surprised by the Hyundai that we see today, especially from an American standpoint. Even while Tesla continues to lead the EV market, Hyundai and Kia are getting closer. As far as electrification is concerned, Hyundai has excelled. They have released some incredible things. However, the business goes beyond EVs. It aims to invest in robots, autonomous driving, flying taxis, and the industrial revolution. Hyundai is still devoted to many of the audacious goals that other automakers have backed away from. We are a technology company, I believe. Looking at everything we're doing, it seems like we're doing stuff straight out of science fiction. However, the business has had many difficulties, including a wave of thefts so severe that insurance companies declined to cover their vehicles, millions of automobiles at risk of fire, an impending union movement, and a blow from the US government. Since everything is changing so drastically, there are no tried and true methods for success. It's all a game of chance, and Hyundai is taking part, expanding in only 10 years. With Kia excluded, Hyundai Motor Company's revenue increased from roughly $80 billion to an anticipated $124 billion. 2020 saw a small decline in sales, but by 2021 they had more than recovered. For the third year in a row, Hyundai's retail sales broke records in 2023, totaling over 700,000 units, roughly 8 times the company's total sales in the late 1990s. Of fact, several automakers posted significant profits in what analysts dubbed a remarkably successful year, but Hyundai did manage to overtake American-Italian automaker Stellantis. After Ford, GM, and Toyota, Hyundai is currently the fourth most popular brand in the United States as of January 2024. In terms of EV sales, the Hyundai-Kia duo and Hyundai's luxury brand Genesis outperformed all of those businesses. Even though its cars weren't completely eligible for the federal tax benefit, this still happens. Consumers who lease Hyundai cars can receive discounts. As a result, the company's leasing rates have increased from 2% to 30%. They are typically regarded as some of the most technologically advanced automobiles, particularly their electric models. Among the top EVs available are the eGMP platform and some of the products that will be released in the upcoming years. Electric Global Modular Platform is referred to as eGIMP. The incredibly flexible skateboard-like chassis is designed to support a variety of vehicle shapes. It has a ton of cutting-edge technology, like very fast charging. I would like to draw attention to the recent events that occurred in Chicago during the extraordinarily low temperatures. Fortunately, our cars have distinct systems and technologies, so there haven't been any problems with the cars or the charging. Sales of its all-electric Ioniq 5 increased by 90% in the US in 2023. Sales records were achieved by the plug-in hybrid Santa Fe and the hybrid Tucson. In a historical irony, the Hyundai Ioniq 5 is, by almost everyone's standards, a much far better vehicle than Toyota's equivalent alternative, the BZ4X. Past events. It is a historical irony because one might say that Hyundai copied Toyota to some extent to get to where it is now. In 1967, Hyundai Motor was established as a spin-off of one of the large, mostly family-owned chaebol companies in Korea. Currently ranking among the biggest factories in the world, its initial assembly factory in Ulsan, Korea can produce 1.6 million cars annually. Ulsan's initial undertaking was creating a Cortina automobile. What it discovered inspired the Pony, its first automobile. It then took a step that it would repeat when hired a gifted outsider in the future. In this example, Giorgetto Giugiaro. One of the most recognizable names in automotive design, he was responsible for the external styling of the original Pony. And that made it possible for the car to have a modern, sleek appearance despite coming from a country not well renowned for producing automobiles. In 1986, the Excel, a successor created by Giugiaro, became the first vehicle sold in the United States. They were inexpensive. I mean, really inexpensive. In every sense of the word. You paid for what you received. It was an astounding success because of its famous designer, inexpensive price, and Asian origin during an era when Americans were enamored with Japanese craftsmanship and dependability. It was arguably the biggest US debut for an import automaker ever, selling 100,000 units in the first 7 months and about 169,000 vehicles over the entire year. Customers soon discovered, though, that Hyundais weren't constructed to the same standards as Japanese vehicles. Hyundai's yearly sales in the US fell to roughly 90,000 cars by 1998. The importance of quality and safety was recognized by the upper management, who placed a strong emphasis on raising the standard. Superiority. Ku, the chairman and CDO of Hyundai at the time, used a fast follower approach, copying the best practices of top automakers, which at the time included Japanese automakers like Toyota and Honda. Hyundai mercilessly measured its quality against that of its neighbors under his leadership. Then, to perform quality checks at the end of the assembly line, they incorporated a lot of automation. They were diagnosing issues because they were maintaining accurate records of quality flaws. Their quality levels started to approach that of the Japanese and the big 3 US automakers in the early 2000s. Despite this, their brand worth was still less than that of their rivals. The next action was to introduce a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain guarantee to support its bold new claim. That certainly made a splash. It undoubtedly aided in conveying to American customers that Hyundai genuinely cared about quality. They were no longer the distributors of inexpensive or subpar automobiles. No, they were now sufficiently well-built cars to come with one of the strongest warranties anyone had ever heard of. The Asian financial crisis of 1997 caused numerous South Korean businesses, including automakers, to fail. Both Daewoo and Kia suffered losses until Hyundai acquired a 51% share to improve its reputation and increase sales in the US and Europe. The shareholding has decreased to roughly 33% over time. Hyundai made an $886 million offer and suggested that creditors write off 80% of Kia's debt, which totals over $7 billion. The Hyundai Motor Group was founded by the two. Although the arrangement is complicated, it enables the two businesses to share top talent and important technology platforms. They pulled in big names from reputable European companies. Luc Donkerwolke, a former employee of Bentley, Lamborghini, Audi, and Skoda, and Peter Schreier from the Volkswagen Group were joined by engineer Albert Biermann from the BMW high-performance M division. Obstacles that had a significant impact on how customers perceived this company's offerings. All of a sudden, there were vehicles like the Veloster N, and then there were SUVs. All three of these brands start to include some truly intriguing designs. They didn't appear to be anything else, They were, quite gorgeous. Additionally, every brand had a distinct personality of its own. There have been setbacks and difficulties. Even though the premium Genesis brand received positive reviews, it initially had trouble. This is mostly because during the first 6 years of its existence, the market was shifting toward SUVs and sedans made up the company's selection. Even more concerning, there has been a recall of millions of Hyundai vehicles due to fire risk. A series of incidents damaged the company's reputation. The thefts. Engine immobilizers, which stop an engine in the case of theft, were not present in cars. Just a few of the hilarious videos on TikTok are these. Within seconds, the cars were stolen. There are still occurrences here and there, even though, their reputation for quality is far higher now than it was 25 or 30 years ago. To prevent overtaxing dealers, Hyundai has invested hundreds of millions of dollars in preparing a software update, as well as staffing clinics, stadiums, and parking lots with technicians. It has been a great success, and we can see that there is a drop in the number of anti-theft cases, as well as a lot of positive attitudes. Similar to its competitors, Hyundai is dealing with a labor dispute. With remarkable success in their negotiations with Detroit automakers, the United Auto Workers Union has shifted its focus, as of February 2023, to foreign automakers operating non-union U.S. operations. Over 30% of the employees at Hyundai's Montgomery, Alabama plant, according to the union, have signed union cards. Hyundai claims that through 2028 it will increase wages by 25%. We lack evidence to support or validate their 30% claim. We'll just continue as we are. We'll provide the best for our staff members. Our plant's management, the local government, and the state government all back us. And then, let's go ahead and let the employees decide if we ever need to hold an election. They've decided not to join a union thus far, and we'll see what transpires. Some people criticize the corporation because such fields are excessively advanced, meaning there is a large degree of uncertainty in each of those areas. During a recent earnings call, partner supplier Aptiv announced that it would start cutting down on its investment in Motional, a collaborative initiative that adds autonomous driving technology to the list of once hyped areas that other automakers like Ford have pulled away from. Hyundai hasn't. Thus, technology is a positive thing, and we are dedicated to that. As a result, one of the partners, for which we are incredibly grateful, decided to scale back or leave. That's okay. Hyundai is taking chances with distribution as well. Additionally, the carmaker is the first to work with Amazon on a test project where cars are sold through the online retailer's platform. No matter what, internet sales will continue, whether or not Hyundai and/or Amazon are involved, as this is unquestionably the trend for everyone. Share in the comments. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell to never miss an update. See you in a future video, and thanks for watching.